CitizenCon Direct has just ended, and we've got some wonderful Warbonds that we can check out. First up is the Paladin, $25 off a $350 ship. That's pretty good. I'll definitely take this one. Looks like we've got two obvious choices here, the Mole and the Constellation Aquila. The Mole comes up very often, and quite frankly, everything beyond $300 goes through the Mole, so it makes the best choice here. But if you look beyond these down here that are effectively super rare, you can't CCU to them anymore. I don't know if you ever could, actually. So you disregard these. Below that, though, you have the Stinger. The Stinger's another new ship that was just released, and it's got the next Warbond. So if you don't have any chains built already, and you don't have something leading up to the Mole, then right now the best bet for you is going to be the Stinger. So it's a $10 price for you for a $25 discount. That's pretty good. Next up is the Stinger. And look at this. This is another $25 discount on a $315 ship. So I'll definitely take that as well. And for these, I'm definitely going to lean towards the Sentinel on this one. Let's see. For those things coming up, it's just IAE, basically, end of the year stuff. And then next year kind of starts the cycle over. Let's go to the CCU game and see if there's any variability that would help us make a decision here. So checking the blade on the CCU game app, we've just got one Warbond. I think it's had two overall, but you kind of have to wait for Alien Week for this one to come around, right? So it is more rare. At least it's got a less likelihood overall. And then we've got the Sentinel, which has had one or two or three, maybe even four if we're talking about pre-2021. I would definitely lean towards a Sentinel here. I know there's some probably really good use cases that could come out of Squadron 42 coming closer and closer and closer to release, but right now I have to go back off of previous performance on this one, and I'd lean towards a Sentinel, so that would be my recommendation here. Go with the Sentinel, guys. We also have both the Apollos available. If you want to check out my previous video, I went over those in depth. But we do have another very cool ship. I sort of fell in love with it during the presentation. We have the Shiv. This is a mixed up ship that's a combination of a bunch of others. If you haven't seen CitizenCon Direct, you should definitely check out the ship section, talking ship section of that video. It's pretty fantastic. It goes over the 3 new ships available, and this is one of them. So this is a $15 discount off of a $150 ship. Again, I'd prefer a $20 to $30 discount here, but we'll take what we can get, right? So here we go with the Warbond, and we've got a couple choices here. Again, I'm always going to call out the Hornet Mark 1s as no-goes unless you already have it, although this is the one I may personally choose for one of my chains because I can get to the Hornet Mark 1 and I haven't used that particular CCU. Let's go see what the options are for the normal folks that are maybe just starting the game or haven't been playing for very long. To do that, let's jump over to the CCU game app. 350R has had one, might have had a second one a long time ago, but I'm pretty sure it's only had one in recent times, and so I'm saying that this is probably accurate. Jumping over to the Raft, it's had a few. It's had 3, maybe 4, probably just 3. So that's also a pretty good contender. It's better than the 350R, I'd say. And then, of course, you have the C1, which has had so many Warbonds since its release. I would definitely pick the C1 for this link in my chain. The Nova, again, is leaving more money on the table. Notice the $120 price point versus $125. So, yeah, I would definitely go with the C1 for the Shiv. And I'm definitely going to go grab one of these because I have a feeling I'm going to love this ship. It's basically a Cuddy Black that's been stripped out and lightened. They added, I don't even know, a hodgepodge of Scorpius and other 4, maybe size 3. I couldn't tell in the video. They might be size 2. They might actually be bespoke. I don't know. We'll find out more soon as I start reading about this. In fact, I'm going to jump over to the ships page and check out the Shiv and see what kind of information is there as well. But anyway, for this Warbond, I'm definitely going with the C1 Spirit on this one. I wanted to quickly touch on the game pack section. Nothing really new here. There's a couple discounts with the Cutter and the Sulin and the and with the Titan. Again, if you're just starting the game today, please use my referral code, of course. But also, I would probably go with the Titan. It is by far one of the best starter ships. It's the most versatile for sure. You can do doggone near everything you would want to do in the game. It is an older ship, so it's definitely not up to standards. It is, man, if you've flown something like the C1 or especially the Zeus series, those are some of the best made ships. You can tell that it went through the new pipeline and whatnot. The Titan is not that ship. However, if you want to do almost everything in the game that isn't super specialized like mining, right? This is probably the best ship for you to grab. It is an okay discount. I think they raised the price here. I don't remember it ever being 75 before. Maybe that's just the total value of what they throw into the pack is what they're saying. I thought the normal Titan pack was like $65, but hey, inflation's getting us all. So I don't know where the $75 price comes from. So it's not that much of a discount, but they are giving a discount. So that's the one I would recommend. Just wanted to call that out before getting on to the other ship section. So first up, we've got the 10-year Paladin in the standalone ships section. It looks like it's a standalone ship, just a warbond. We also have the Stinger for a warbond, and apparently it comes with a bonus paint as well. We still have the Apollo ships on warbond. Both of these have warbond pricing. And the Shiv is going to be probably a couple pages away. Here's the Shiv Warbond 135. It's the same discount, so there you have it. It looks like this one comes with a bonus paint as well. So it is the Meridian paint. I don't know. I'm guessing this is a standard paint. This would be the Meridian. So Gray's Market has been added to the ships section. So let's jump in and see what the Shiv has to offer beyond what we kind of found out in the CitizenCon. Okay, so we've got a bucket toilet that was displayed prominently. Still has the fan. So it's got heavy fighter's firepower, durability over speed. Interesting. Over speed and agility. So it probably doesn't handle or is maneuverable as the Cuddy Black. It says strong armament, so it's probably an up-armored Cuddy Black with less maneuverability. I kind of want to just get this thing just to show you guys. I might do that and kill my wallet. So 36 meters in length, not too bad. 2 size 4 weapons. Obviously the missiles you can change the rack out, right? But 2 size 4. I didn't see where the 2 size 4s were. Oh, right there. They're right there. Kind of similarly placed to the top mounted weapons on the Cuddy Black, it looks like. I don't know if it's exactly the same place. It's tough to tell with the they're not really wings, right? The front section's removed. But yeah, it looks like those are there. So those are 2 size 4s though, not 2 size 3s like the Cuddy Black. So this is definitely up-weaponed. To be up-armored from a Cuddy Black is not saying much. It is a Drake ship. This is not a Drake ship. Again, you can see here it definitely uses a Drake chassis, but this is highly modified. You can see the clear Drake shape here. It almost looks like these are anvil. Very cool. So anyway, I like this ship. It definitely looks like more realistic to what a ship might look like out in the verse versus having something that runs right off of a factory line at some high-end manufacturing plants. I kind of dig it. I like the mismatching parts. I like the possibility of upgrading a Drake to be more reliable. I know. Engineering's not in yet, but like that's something to think about, right? Or maybe it'll be less reliable than Drake. I don't know. But I kind of already love this ship. They did mention that the turret was a remote turret. I'm nearly certain they said that.
The top turret, which is now remote, is just this hodgepodge amalgamation with multiple other ships' turrets.
So I don't think they called out whether or not it was pilot controlled. Let's go look at that real quick.
So the Shiv, we don't really know what it is, to be fair.
It's what happens when someone who is a genius at aeronautics and ship assembly is given free rein to do whatever they want. It's the best of whatever they can find lying around, put together to make something truly unique, wonderful, arguably beautiful.
At first glance at the exterior of the Shiv, I think most people will probably recognize there is more than a fair proportion of a cutlass visible there, but it's had quite a few changes to it.
As you look a little bit closer, you'll start to pick out elements from other ships. You've got, main thrusters that are from the Valkyrie.
Even the bits that are obviously a cutlass have had panels welded on, panels removed. The top turret, which is now remote, is just this hodgepodge amalgamation with multiple other ships' turrets. And then the changes continue onto the inside where, again, it sort of feels cutlass-like, but then you'll find there's bits of Crusader ships just integrated into the wall instead of what was there originally.
It has lost its side entrance, some of its cargo capacity, but what it's gained is it's gained visually more powerful thrusters. It's gained a really kind of nice set of belly thrusters. It's upped its firepower.
There's like loose cables, panels are exposed. If you look carefully, you'll notice there are like tools laying around in the cockpit.
It's gained a toilet. Bucket.
Yeah, it's one for doing stuff, and then you need a second one to wash your hands.
Just look at this thing. How do you even begin to describe the madness that created this?
This is something new and different for Star Citizen. Where did it come from?
I'm not going to answer that.
Just
Nope.
nothing. Just
No comment.
I think the Shiv is for someone that is looking for something a bit different, a bit away from the norm, that just wants something that's unique.
It's definitely for people who like a rustic aesthetic.
It's a fun ship, but it's also really strong, to be honest, and it's absolutely a statement.
You could definitely say statement again. This thing is certainly a statement, and I like the idea of them building some lore behind it with somebody who kind of has their own outfit that obviously takes some ship from the verse and then modifies it heavily for sale to us. Of course, that's going to get us more money if they start combining some of the best aspects of different ships that we all love in a way that looks cool and unique and different. And I think this is obviously a step that they're going to take towards that direction. Now, whether or not we'll be able to do this in-game, I doubt. But if they start coming up with some of these customized ships that start off with the framing or the concept or the base of some of the ships that are the most famous, the most used in the verse, like the Cuddy Black, and modify it in a way that makes it extremely unique from this other in-game lore-based manufacturer, I think that's really cool. And we need more of that in the verse, quite frankly. So I'm probably going to end up having this ship just so I can test it out, which means I'm going to eat up one of my chains with it. Oh boy, not going to pay $150 for it. Let me see what I can make as far as CCU chains go. Let me actually go check that out right now. So I'm starting a fresh chain here for you guys just to walk you through this. Selecting something from my hanger. Let's see here. So some of these are false positives. These are things that would technically be in my buyback. If it says LTI, it means that I actually do have the thing. Most of these others, though, like the Cutter, the Mule, X1, I don't actually have these ships. I purchase them temporarily with store credit, most likely. Unless it does say LTI, then it's usually one of my referral reward ships. Oh yeah, use my referral if you guys are feeling nice today and you're starting an account or something. So let's go through these. What makes sense? Oops. What makes sense? I do have an Atlas that I can change out if I need store credit. Let's go with a hover quad. Let's make a really long chain, just to not bypass all the troubles that we see at the low end. Let's do the Shiv. Oh, you know what? I got to check something. Make sure I'm not excluding anything and make sure I'm not including anything. Perfect. Create chain. Hover quad to Shiv. Let's find out. Okay, that's surprising. I actually have a raft. I figured I would have had a C1 down here. I would have had something to a C1, maybe a Cuddy Black to a C1. I must have used those. So, okay, well, there you go. I stand corrected. For my personal use, I would grab a raft to a Shiv. I would have assumed that I had a Hornet still. I must have used that one as well. So there we go. That's it's good to know, right? And it's good to use this tool because it aligns what you actually have. That's why it's so beneficial to really understand how this tool functions. And look, maybe it doesn't make the best sense. Maybe there's something here where I want to force it to use a 350R. Do I even have 350R? Let's go look. If we're going to go look at CCUs, do I have a 350R? Oh, I got a Centurion to 350R, so I could use that one. Do I have a C1? I have a C1 to Ballista, Cuddy Black to C1. Are these in use? These must be in use. Let's force include those. C1, Cuddy Black to C1. Let's add that one. And C1 to Ballista. I just want to force use that one. So let's go back to the chain here and create the chain again. $70. Either way works. I wonder why it's trying to use the raft instead. Was that higher savings? Let's remove that. Create chain. Do that. Oh yeah. No, it's still $10. Huh, that's weird. Interesting. Anyway, that's how it works out sometimes. You got to make the assessment yourself and figure out if you want to use that Cuddy Black to raft or Cuddy Black to C1. In this case, it chose the raft, and I would have to go back and see if there's anything that I want to use that C1 to, because it shouldn't use it if it's already there. Like this could have it. C1 to Ballista, Cuddy Black to C1. Okay, so one of them was in use here. Oh, that's interesting. What else would it be in? This is similarly priced. So I have another one here. That's why I didn't use them. They were already in use. Okay, so if you force to use it, it'll use it twice. So keep that in mind when you're making your own change. If you're force using one of these things, or force excluding it, I suppose it wouldn't show up. But if you're force using it, it'll put it in there even if it's already used up. So I assumed that I had more C1s available. I don't. I have a raft available. So that's what I would use right here. And this one's in the store today, and that would complete it. And you know what? I think I may just finish this one off for you guys as soon as I can get the Reliant Mako. Because I don't think I can get that right now. Let's jump in. Can you get the Mako? Nope. Can't even get the Mako. So during IAE, I'd be able to finish this off if other ships don't come up in the next, 2 months ish, 2.5, 2 months. Oh my gosh, we're so close to IAE. So yeah, and I doubt they're going to be that price point anyway. So maybe I'll just pick up a couple of these during IAE and complete this sucker sooner rather than later. That would be cool. All right, guys. Well, that's it for me. Wow, there was a ton of information in CitizenCon Direct this year. It was a quicker show than normal, but there was tons of information in there. It looks like it's going to be a very, very exciting 2026 and a very, very exciting end to 2025. Looks like we have a patch coming very soon, and that will bring us Nyx before the year's out. That's amazing. Lots more to do, and we'll find a conclusion to this ASD stuff. Very, very cool. All right, guys, that's it for me on this one. I hope this helped you out. Hit that like button and all that good stuff for me. Help that algorithm out. And yeah, Zi-Tek out.